Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Coming up tonight, a major organizational shakeup at Bahamas Power and Light. Social Services Minister on the record about urban renewal layoffs. A new day is promised for the Grand Bahama Public Service. And hope and help is on the way for those unemployed in the Family Islands. Welcome to our news, the weekend edition. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepard. In an internal memo, company CEO Whitney Hasty has informed staff at Bahamas Power and Light of a shakeup of the power company's directors. The memo issued to staff late on Friday states that for many years the company has been plagued with reliability and service issues across the country, and although improvements have been made, the company must now focus its attention on the Family Islands to meet customer satisfaction. With that said, Ian Pratt, the company's chief operating officer, will now have responsibility for Family Island operations. Burlington Strawn has now been promoted to acting COO of the New Providence operations. Andrew Darville will take on the role of acting director of generation reporting to Strawn. The memo adds that with the restructuring of the COO role, the company has undertaken a careful review of its progress within the health, safety, and environment group, particularly as it moves toward world-class safety. And finally, Chantel Nesbitt will assume the role of acting director of health, safety, and environment, reporting to the company's CEO. These changes, which impact many BPL operating areas, are expected to take effect March 1st. Following concerns over the termination of scores of urban renewal employees, Minister of Social Services Obi Wolshcombe says terminations will allow the centers to rebuild, fulfilling the program's mission. Sharika Johnson reports.
Minister of Social Services Obi Wolshcombe is defending layoffs at urban renewal centers, asserting many staffers' contracts had already expired in early 2021. He says the centers are now undergoing a restructuring phase and former employees can't reapply for positions.
So what we decided to do was allow all to end employment and reapply if they so wish. But it also allows us to put in place our paradigm, which requires new plans, new thoughts, new ideas, and of course, new people.
Wolshcombe says laid-off employees received financial assistance. Opposition leader Michael Bindard had condemned the termination of urban renewal staff in Grand Bahama, calling it a vicious cycle of removing people when a new government is elected.
Some were told that their contracts will not be renewed, but we ensured that we provided some gratuity and assistance. We did not just send people out.
Wolshcombe says in December, the Davis administration paid out almost $400,000 to 45 workers laid off in 2017.
We didn't want to repeat that. So that's why we didn't move with haste. We didn't try to move people out very quickly. We didn't try to hurt anybody. We wanted to make sure that we were rebuilding urban renewal so it can, in fact, fulfill its mission.
For our news, I'm Sharika Johnson.
The Minister of State for the Public Service, Pia Glover Roll, on Grand Bahama recently, once again assessing the needs of the various agencies on that island. Glover Roll says that the Reimagining the Public Service in a New Day agenda has been launched with the goal to reform the public service.
I found that it wasn't functioning as a Ministry of Public Service office. It was functioning more as a training center. And in my estimation, the Public Service Office in Grand Bahama should mirror the office that we have in New Providence, because the matters of public servants across the country are as important in Nassau as they are here. So I wanted to ensure that as we move forward, we set up an office where people can come in, public servants can come in and not only speak to matters of training, but speak to their human resource related matters, their labor relations related matters, and any queries that they have that they don't have to be referred to New Providence when they're based right here in Grand Bahama.
Glover Roll says she is committed to an open door policy for all public servants on Grand Bahama and throughout the northern region. To this end, she announced a new office for the island.
As a part of the Downtown Rejuvenation Project, we are pleased to note that our accommodations team has found a place for the Ministry of Public Service office. In fact, downtown, the current location of our Ministry of Public Service is very small, very cramped, no room for growth. And because of all of the dynamics that we will be adding to the public service function here in Grand Bahama, we found a great spot downtown so that we can be a part of this exciting downtown Grand Bahama rejuvenation project.
She also addressed the ongoing promotion exercises in the public service. She says it is important for workers to understand the process.
It's a process of due diligence. It's a process to ensure that we are being fair and that everyone that is due a promotion is looked at. And it's a process that has to be thorough. So with all that being said, civil servants are getting letters daily across the service in multiple agencies. The work continues. We're actively engaged in our customs promotions and some other promotions that would have already been in the pipeline. But I say again, we are looking at every agency across the public service.
The Family Islands will not be left out in the government's push to get more Bahamians employed. Director of Labor, Robert Farquharson, revealing there are plans to not only place, but also train job seekers on several islands. Jasmine Brown reports.
The Labor Director telling our news team that the Department of Labor has no plans on being Nassau-centric as there are hundreds of job seekers on the neighboring islands. Farquharson says one of the first islands they will visit over the next few weeks is Eleuthera because of the upcoming Disney Lighthouse Point project and the hundreds of workers that are needed.
On the 22nd and the 24th of this month, the Department of Labor will be in Eleuthera. We're going to have a career fair on the 22nd in Roxtown and the 24th in Gregorytown. PTVI is going to be on the ground, and we're going to sign people up for certification because we are partnering with the Disney Group to provide 300 Bahamians to be work in the Disney project. And the Disney Group has indicated to us they want certified people to work in that project. So we're being proactive. We're going to go down to Eleuthera. We're going to identify these young people. We go into the high school in Roxtown. We identify people out of high school. We have them certified, and part of the certification process is on-the-job training at the Disney location.
And that's not the only island labor officials are targeting.
We're doing the same thing in Exuma, because in Exuma on the island of Norman's Cay, the Ritz-Carlton is about to open a hotel in Norman's Cay. We've also reached out to the ownership of that company. They've indicated to us they also want certified people. So next month in March, we're going to be in Exuma. We have a career fair in Exuma where we're going to identify at least 100 Bahamians to work on that project in Norman's Cay. Then we go into Grand Bahama with a career fair. The people at Grand Bahama Shipyard is about to expand. And so they're going to be looking for certified people as well. So this NCCER training in conjunction with BTVI will be offered in Grand Bahama sometime next month. So we're looking for at least 300 people in Grand Bahama to be certified.
In addition to getting Bahamians prepared for the job market, he says those career fairs will be in partnership with BTVI and other institutions.
Our career fair, the Department of Labor in conjunction with BTVI has partnered to ensure Bahamians become certified and better prepare them for the job market. We have partnered with the University of the United States, and we're going to be providing free certification, NCCER certification. And what that will do, it's an online program where BTVI and the private sector and the Department of Labor will identify between now and June 500 Bahamians. And the only thing is Bahamians will have to pay is $25, and we'll be able to train them, have them certified in the construction industry, in food and beverage industry, in hotel sector, to prepare them for the market.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Still to come on Our News, a counselor informs on the effects of gender-based violence. Young people are getting a taste of the super yacht industry. Those stories still to come when Our News returns.
Welcome to our news, and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
You're watching our News Weekend edition. Welcome back. With the Davis administration giving much indication to making changes to the laws concerning gender-based violence, a local counselor and lecturer is giving insight to the effects of gender-based violence on victims. Cale Campbell reports.
Many times we see this as a cycle. So we see persons go through this over and over again. Sometimes they may have seen parents or other family members go through it.
Amid heightened focus on gender-based violence, our news spoke with counselor and assistant professor of psychology at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Deetra Bethel, who also works with private clients who have been abused. Bethel says female victims may face difficulties trying to leave their abusers, often feeling like there's no way out.
I do think that we need to find housing for persons who experience gender-based violence, because that is one of the things or one of the reasons why persons don't leave a difficult situation, because they have nowhere to go.
Bethel asserted stricter laws should be in place for males and females who commit such acts of abuse.
A boyfriend or girlfriend is not a matter of property. It's not a matter of ownership. So even though you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you own that individual. So helping the Bahamian populace understand that once you're in a relationship, it does not mean that you own that individual. It's certainly fundamentally important.
According to Bethel, it is vital going forward to step away from the belief that people in toxic situations should try to make good of a bad situation.
Nuances that says, this is where you're at, and you have to accept where you're at. I think those are the nuances, as opposed to saying that, oh, if he hits you, that's okay. I don't think that that's something that's perpetuated in our culture. I think what's perpetuated is, this is your situation, so you have to make the best of the situation that you are in.
Bethel believes going forward, the Bahamas must teach younger generations of Bahamians to respect themselves and walk away from situations or relationships that do not fulfill them.
I want us to teach our children and young folks that it's okay to want more and to want better for yourselves. It's okay to leave a situation that is not feeding you or is not giving you what you need to have.
For our news, I'm Cale Campbell.
Well, young people on the island having an opportunity to learn more about the super yachting industry. A free pop-up training session was held recently at the Bay Street Marina, where industry professionals say this is an untapped market. Terrell Lightbourne has been in the super yacht industry for almost 2 decades. She believes that now is the time for more young people to seek opportunities in the industry, adding that her goal is to eventually establish a school that will train young people.
There is education needed towards the way you're going to present yourself to these boats. You're amongst a lot of different cultures. You need to know how to blend in. There's a lot of confidentiality clauses that, you go on a boat, it's very private, so you have to follow those things out. So we're going to basically train people in the right way and just show them the blueprint.
Lightbourne adds that this training session is just the first of many to come. She says while traditional careers are fine, students can be exposed to more options.
We have the Ranfully Home. We have a lot of students from there today. Elizabeth Estates Children's Home. We have the Boys Industrial Club, the Girls Industrial Club, and we have quite a bit of 20-something-year-olds that I've been training in a private WhatsApp group and on a Facebook group, so they're ready to get into the industry.
President of the Association of Bahamas Mariners, Peter Murray, says the yachting industry is very supportive and creates economic opportunities for all sectors.
Those opportunities in maritime law, in registration, but then there's all the supportive roles from fuel for the boats to provisioning to masseuses to nail technicians. My staff can tell you, they'll the list of people that they have to call every day to attend to the needs of these yachts. Like 2018, they came out with a study that said, by 2025, this industry would be, an $80 billion a year industry. And we're, with the boats coming out and in the yards being built, I think by 2025, it'll be, a $100 billion business.
Juliana Roll is a marine engineer who is encouraging all youngsters to take a look at the industry. She says while she has had to overcome minor challenges, this is a passion for her.
Someone may feel like it's an intimidating field to get into, And honestly, it is. As a female and, the skin color, it is. But I don't let that hinder me or discourage me from actually being what it is that I do or doing what I love, So I just work twice as hard. I put in a lot of effort just to show that I deserve to be here. But I'm also humble, But especially the females, if this is something that they want to do, don't be afraid. Like Captain Kelly said earlier, just do it. Just get in. If you need some advice, hit me up. I'll help you out as best I can.
Captain Kelly Gordon has been coming to the Bahamas for 5 years, and she says this is her home away from home. She said she is so grateful for the local support, and she too is looking for more Bahamians to get involved.
As soon as I hit the dock when I get here, my support comes from the locals. It goes from support of flipping the boat on the inside, cleaning the interior, to washdowns on the outside. But what I want to point out more than anything, because someone said to me the other day, well, I have a family and I can't go to sea, is the yachting industry is so much more than just being at sea. As soon as I get here, I need someone for laundry, I need someone for provisions, I need someone for flowers, I need someone for beverages. And so the list really goes on in terms of taxi drivers, limo drivers. So the list really, really goes on in terms of the support staff that I need shoreside and at sea from the locals.
When our news comes back from the break, let's see what's framing up with Generation Next. We have the details when our news weekend edition returns.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
This is our news weekend edition. Welcome back. In this edition of Generation Next, I sit down with a young woman who says an everyday need for her and her son helped to spark what is now her new business venture and passion. Owner of framed eyewear and accessories, Heidi Monroe.
We sell glasses frames, and you can use those to have your prescription lens put in. We don't do prescriptions just yet. We also provide readers, so that persons who just need reading glasses in different strengths. We have different strengths available. And recently, I got into blue light frames. So those persons who are always in front of the computer, on your iPad, your phone, I have blue light frames available as well. And added to the accessory part of it, I have storage cases that you can use to store your frames, and then also chains that you can attach to your frames, and I've even used them to secure my mask.
Despite opening her business during the pandemic in December 2020, Monroe says it was a relatively smooth process. While juggling her business with her 9-to-5, Monroe says she also tries to involve her son as much as possible.
I want him to see the importance of, being able to do something for himself as well. And the fact that he has the opportunity to do it. It isn't something that's impossible. It can be done. So it hasn't been difficult at all in that regard. And I try to get him involved. I'll say, well, we placed this order, got in this amount of frames, this how much we were able, to sell it for, even as small as a delivery fee. Come go with me for the ride. You may just get this delivery fee. That could come your way.
To other aspiring entrepreneurs, Monroe says that research is key, adding you must be prepared for both the highs and the lows.
Know your market, know your product, and when you find something that really piques your interest, give it your all. Don't think of something where, it's like a get rich on the spot kind of thing. You have to be committed and dedicated to what it is that you want to do. And it's definitely, it's not where you have to choose one or the other. Okay, my 9-to-5 or, a side business. Take your time, and gradually as things start to improve, business start to grow, then you could actually make that decision. But it's not something that's off the table, being able to do both.
And when she experiences low days, Monroe says it's her repeat customers and meeting the needs of new customers that keeps her going.
yes, it's, we do everything online, but you have the opportunity to try on. So it isn't like where you would order from, one of those sites you would normally order from online. You get it, you're not sure if it fits, it looked one way in the picture. So I can send you pictures, but you also have the opportunity to try on. So step out of the box and shop framed.
Our brother and friend, entertainer MD's gone too soon. Tonight, we will remember him in our entertainment segment when our News the Weekend edition returns.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
Welcome back to our News Weekend edition. Today, we remember reggae song artist MD's who lost his life in 2019. Born to a Jamaican father and a Bahamian mother, MD's found himself entangled in the Caribbean love for music. Here is his video titled Love Is. Do enjoy.
Have you ever been in love? Have you ever been in love? Love. Tell me, have you ever been in love? Have you ever been in love? This one goes out to my ladies. Even when the times get rough, she not shake me. So tell me, have you ever been in love? Oh yeah, oh yeah. 'Cause love is patient and understanding. It's not fighting every day. So am I wrong or right to live my life and love you in every way? I'm making changes, I'm learning patience. It's getting better than before. When I see your eyes, I realize I need you more and more. Hey baby girl, how you doing? What's the dealing? Time we get down with some sexual healing. I know love cannot show you the meaning. Could this be love that I'm feeling, girl? You're well rounded, meet the ceiling. Come little closer, my girl, just wheeling. I can hear your heart beating. I'm beating, it's time for the greeting. Say we will be there any time of the day. I mean, I really care what your friends want to say. So you not listen, talk, neither rain nor day. Want chill and do nothing, that's A-okay. Say real lover, we not play no game. I will be there, sunshine or rain. Better or worse, me say joy or pain. If you need me, just call my name. 'Cause love is patient and understanding. It's not fighting every day. So am I wrong or right to live my life and love you in every way? I'm making changes, I'm learning patience. It's getting better than before. When I see your eyes, I realize I need you more and more.
Thank you so much for joining us for our News Weekend edition. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. See you tomorrow.